We're coming to you live from Hospital Hill in Babane. Good morning and welcome to the Kusile Breakfast Show. Thank you so much for joining us on this beautiful Friday morning. You can also watch the show on our Eswatini TV YouTube page. Nguni, how are you?
Very good, Lulu. How are you?
I'm well. Starting so
I'm very excited for this weekend. I have a lot of activities that I'll be doing, just keeping healthy activities, a lot of sporting activities that I'm going to be attending as well. As a player, it's outside of the professional environment, chaka sports, but just to keep healthy. Ngoba kunemikhuhlane lebeseyikhona elabasikuthathile betempilo Lulu. I think
yes,
all
right.
the time, and I hope you will be joining me at Jimin soon. Nguvile nje kulamalanga ngibute ama-rates asema-gymini. So hopefully you will be.
Soon.
Yeah.
All right, good morning and welcome. We have 4 guests. Stapa sikhulumisana nabasuka ka Eswatini Revenue Service. Njengoba ukuthi njalo ngabo lesihlanu siba nabo on the show bato sitekela kabanti njengokubhadalwa kwemithelo namhlanje njengoba ku-14 July i-deadline yokubhadalwa kwe-pay as you earn. We'll be joined by the communications director from the Eswatini Revenue Service, Vusi Lamina. Atositekela kabanti ukuthi what is pay as you earn, which businesses are obliged to adhere to kubhadalwa kwe-pay as you earn. Ukuva nje ukuthi ngabe vele mhlawumbe calculator kanjani. I think siyibonile nje imibutelo eminingi levela khona ka Facebook abantu bayabuta ukuthi calculator kanjani yona le business. Ngabe vele mhlawumbe usomabhizinisi labancane bona bayayibhadala and vele i-pay as you earn yonke le mibutelo leyo. Udasiphenvulela Vusi Dlamini, and later sabe sesikhulumisana nemxhumanisi wamaphoyisa nesive Phindile Vilakade naye she'll join us via Zoom. Kune initiative la sabayicalile ngekubambisana nemiphakathi noma ke imimangalo ehlukahlukene ukuzama nje kutfola tindlela tekucedza ibucala i-crime. So sitabe sikhulumisana naye kuva kabantu ukuthi ngabe ihamba kanjani initiative ngoba ngekwati kwethu sabavakashele imimango leminingi bazama ukukhulumisana naso sive. So she'll be joining us later at 7:30 this morning.
Yeah, kanti-ke sitawuphinde sijoyinwe nangu-news editor walapha ekhaya Bongani Mathebula kusikhulumisa nje ngemsebenzi lomkhulu lochubekako eGaborone eBotswana loqale ngalesibili the July 11 lo phela-ke esukwini la lomuhla July 14. Jathi-ke ukuthi kule msebenzi Ndvunankhulu Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini is amongst the African heads of state and governments during the official opening of the US-Africa Summit that is already underway khona eBotswana. Prime Minister representa Silo Semhlaba eNgwenyama inkosi Mswati wesithathu kuloyo mhlangano. Kanti-ke siyathi ukuthi kukhulunyiswa indzaba letiningi, some of which part of the name itself, US Africa Business Summit. Kanti-ke letinye tindzaba nje letikhulunyiswako le Prime Minister sakati khulumisile ukuthi there is a great need for African countries to harmonize their health regulatory system. Prime Minister says this will help fulfill the aspirations of the US government, which has positioned itself to support the African region once they have completed the task. Prime Minister Beka khuluma nesiteshi Eswatini TV after attending the plenary session on health in Botswana, where he is representing His Majesty King Mswati III. Bongani Mathebula will take us through some of the other discussions and talks la chubekako kuyo le summit lefaka ekhathi kuthuthukisa tebuchwephesha netekwatisa khona esifundeni sase-Africa and the ease of doing business. And nje sitawujoyinwa nguye-ke Bongani Mathebula. Should be 20 minutes after 7 nakasijoyina until 7:30. Then after that we'll be joined by Fabrice Msonera to speak about sports kule mpelasonto lesiyabuya.
Alright, it's a Friday. Sasibuke tihlelo tamba imbili lo mhla kungilesihlanu. Sicala nge-Times of Eswatini indzaba imbili lapha eTulu. Sicala lapha eTulu page 6. Indzaba imbili, socialite Gauzen jailed for 10 years for rape. Lenye imbili making headlines. Page 2, ABC's plea to chiefs ahead of nominations allow free, fair participation of widows. There's a call for at least 4 MPs with disabilities in next parley. Kanti ke lenye lehamba embili on page 4, frustrated civil servants can't get loans and they blame government. Kanti ke lehamba embili lenye ku page 6, man arrested for rape of church member leneminyaka lengu-16. Free passes to elections prayer tomorrow on page 4.
Yeah. Kanzi-ke kutemidlalo ku-Times of Eswatini lehamba embili yesihlangu lesesithole a tough World Cup draw ku-World Cup ke letawuba khona Dominic Kunene's charges in same qualifying group as Cameroon and Cape Verde. Lenye legijima embili ngubongwa lodlalela sona sihlangu losekuthiwa uku-20,000 emalangeni prize race ku-Kosafa Hollywood Bets tournament lesilababuya kuyo lebedlalelwa khona eDurban, South Africa. Lenye lehamba embili bathi ICC announces equal cash prizes for men and women. Cishe-ke ngileto ngathi sigijima embili Times of Eswatini kutemidlalo.
Nasibuka Eswatini Observer lomhla kungolesihlanu indzaba lehamba embili sipho sethu Shongwe lekumuva wesilisa longasebenzi sowutiwinele imali lenganga 100,000 emalangeni ku MTN, and also making headlines on pages 2 and 3. Principal secretaries respond, "We are not defiant." Finance and Commerce Ministries controlling officers say they respect and work well with ministers. Kanti-ke lehamba embili on page 3, King didn't snap US Africa Summit. Nayo ke lenye ku page 3, Gauzen sentenced to 10 years for rape. Lenye making headlines on Eswatini Observer on page 2, MSF's demands for dialogue.
Yeah. Kanzi-ke kutemidlalo ku-Eswatini Observer legijima embili yensingizini Hotspurs lekuthiwa-ke determined to defend i-Momo Cup. It will be going all out to ensure that the MTN Momo Cup trophy remains undisturbed in their display cabinet. Lenye lehamba embili yesihlangu lekuthiwa-ke sitawufacea i-Cameroon as the nation's pride has been drawn against heavyweights in World Cup qualifiers. This is one of tindzaba lesithathe ikhulumisa naye Fabrice Msonera mase sikhuluma ngetemidlalo nga 7:30. Otherwise those should be our leading stories from maphephandaba esive lomhla ekuseni. Sibahlule make thina sibuya sithathe indzaba talapha ekhaya.
Umsakazo wetithombe iEswatini TV utibophelele kuhlonipha nekulandzela umgomo wetekusakata loweluswe libandla letekuchumana eVeni.
Ngephansi kwalomgomo sitimisele kusakata tindzaba letenteka ngaleso sikhatsi, tindzaba letide emagama lacosheme, letitsembekile, letitsintsa tonke tinhlangothi naletisebaleni.
Kusukela kutepolitiki, tetemphilo, tekulima, tetinkantolo netemhlaba wonke jikelele, siniletsela tindzaba njengoba tinjalo ngaleso sikhatsi letenteka ngaso.
Kanzi kulomsakato siphindze sikulethele lonke luhlobo lwetemidlalo kusuka emidlalweni welibhola letinyawo kuye emidlalweni ledlalelwa ematafuleni kanye naleto letiqhamuka ngaphandle kwakuleli.
Leti tindzaba lowutiletselwa ngumsakazo wetithombe iEswatini TV.
Mizuzu lemfica ibumbene insimbi yesithupha sithathe indzaba talapha ekhaya. Silo inkosi Mswati wesithathu sithi lacwebetelako akaye kuyawungenela umsebenzi welive welikhetfo phindze futhi akhethe bantfu labatawukhona kusebentela live. Lokhu kuvakele ngendvuna yemajaha Mangomeni Nzimanze ngesikhatsi icitsa libutfo lebelikadze libhula emabele esigodlweni eLutsitsini.
La cwebetelako ekhathi esibayeni esigodlweni elitsitsini acale ngekugidza umgubho. Lokhu kulandzela ukuthi libutho licedza umsebenzi webukhosi wekubhula emabele. Kungumhambo ke wamaswati ukuthi uma inkosi ilibitile libutho livele lisukume ngemandla linikele khona liye lapho libitwe khona. Indvuna Mangomeni Nzimanze ithi ingwenyama silo inkosi Mswati wesithathu ithumisa umgcumo lofakwe libutho kulomsebenzi. Indvuna iphindze yagcizelela nangekuthi emajaha abuyele emva emakhaya nasemimangweni ayeke uchuba umsebenzi welukhetho.
Asekuthiwe nje iParliament yalonyaka kukhethwe abantu lebafanele. Bomake nabo babe. Nemajaha embutho natshelwa ngibani ukuthi umbutho awuye eParliament. Aphela umbutho ngibona utawulayela abantu indlela ukuthi bakangwane naye lebahamba ngayo. Ngakho ke bajaha njengaloko imbube emhlaba itosikhulula lamuhla etsasambeni sesiyobuka ngasemakhaya. Asike uphumula. Kuthi indvodza lephumula kwekhaya. Ekhaya ngila kusetshenzwa khona. Hawu sengathatha umhlala phansi. Sengaphumula ekhaya. Ungaphumula ekhaya bangadlali bantwana. Nawuphumulile. Ngakho ke majaha inkosi ithi lamuhla iyasikhulula sihambe semakhaya siyenza imisebenzi emakhaya abobaba njalo kulesi lapha nje beyimile. Ngiloko ke majaha yotho
Shu majaha sasiyawubonana elikhethweni umoni malawo majaha sasiyawubonana elikhethweni ngithi ngasa kabwe masakhali mbu ngithi
Lacobetela ke abheke ukuthi achubeke nalomsebenzi webukhosi nakuletinye tigodlo njengoba sekavele amenyetiwe esifundzeni saseshiselweni. Etindzabeni bikapholile Maziya esigodlweni eLitsitsini.
Ndunankhulu Cleopas Dlamini uthi live laseMelika selivete inshisekelo yekwesekela emave ase-Afrika kude kuthuthukiswe tempilo kuleli vekati. Ndunankhulu uthi laseMelika lethembisa kwesekela emave ngemali yekuthuthukisa takhiwo i-infrastructure kanye nemishini lesezingeni lelisetulu. Ndunankhulu uthi kungileso sizathu emave ase-Afrika kubhekeke ukuthi akhethe indlela litokwenta ukuthi letempilo tihambisane kulungela kutfola lolu sito. Lokhu kuvele emhlanganweni lapho bekudzingidwa indlela tekuthuthukisa tempilo e-Afrika emhlanganweni lochubekako lowatiwa ngekuthi yi-US Africa Business Summit lobanjelwe eBotswana. Ndunankhulu umelele ingwenyama inkosi Mswati wesithathu kulo mhlangano.
Kule tempilo nakhona kubonakala ukuthi singemave ase-Afrika sinemithetho lehlukahlukene kwekuthi sitiphethe kanjani le tempilo. Lokuye kuze kusho nemishini lesisebenzisako ayifanani. Live laseMelika ke lasho ukuthi akubonakala indlela ukuthi kungentiwa njani ukuthi le tinto tize kuhlanganiswe kuhambisane. Kusinangabe nje ngiyabekisa eMozambique uyofuna umshini lo ukuthi kumbe wabogezi ufanane nemshini lo uthenge eNingizimu Afrika. So ke iMelika kisithi ingasibambisa kuloko ukuthi size sikhulume ngavilinye kule mithetho yetempilo. Kwatiwe nje kusina ufuna liphilisi lenje vele ungeke ulithenge esitolo noma ngaye eSouth Africa noma ungayeNamibia umthetho uyafanana ukuthi leli philisi leli lithi ufanele ukuthi ulithole ngoba unikwe ngudokotela.
Indvuna yetemafanile Reichenberg ithulumende useluhlelweni lwekuthi agcine emabhuku akhe lokufaka ekhatsi yekutsenga impahla yakhe ngetindlela tebuchwephesha. Indvuna yethi lena ngiyona indlela hulumende langavimba ngayo kulahlekelwa imali kusatsengwa impahla yakhe. Indvuna beyikhuluma naye ichaza kabanti ngekuthi yini hulumende layendile kuvimbela kulahleka kwetimali losekubonakele kwenteka kakhulu eminyakeni leyengcile.
Indvuna ithi uhulumende usebenta naloyo welive leRwanda kwakha indlela yetebuchwephesha yekugcina emabhuku akhe etimali. Indvuna ithi inkampani lebuka ekutsengwa kwempahla yahulumende i-Eswatini Regulatory Authority Agency nayo yenda tonke taba tekutsi hulumende akhone konga imali ngekuthi kutsenga impahla yakhe kube ngiloko lokusebaleni.
Before one can really focus on reducing the cost of procurement, one does need to get one's payments on time, in time. So the supplier, when they supply something, they can supply it at a very reasonable price, knowing that they're getting their money according to the terms that have been agreed upon. And so that has been the first thing. But at the same time, there has been a lot of work done by SPPRA and in procurement in general to be able to reduce the abuse of, let's say, abusive escalations of price. Thirdly, we are now far down the road working with the government of Rwanda on installing IFMIS, an integrated finance management system, which means that our government accounts will now be more up to date and be able to be more electronic and be integrated with the rest of the system. And e-procurement is the first bolt-on that we're having to that to make sure that e-procurement can also happen at a world standard.
Indvuna ichubeka ithi uhulumende uyayisebenta indzaba yekuthi labo labatsenga impahla yakhe babhadaleke ngesikhatsi kuvikela ukuthi babite imali lesetulu empahleni lefanele ibite imali lencane. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Nelsiwendla ngamandla nginamusi Mkhonda eMbabane.
Bathi inkulungwane letingamashumi lamabili nakubili 22,000 bantu labakhubatekile lababhalisele lukhetfo lwalonyaka. Lokhu kuvakele ngelisekela lamabhalane lomkhulu ehhovisini leliphini landvunankhulu lomakhosi Dlamini emhlanganweni wekubuka kutsi bantu labakhubatekile banakeka kahle yini etindzabeni telukhetfo. Lo msebenzi bewubanjelwe eMountain View eMbabane.
Sikukhanza kumcoka kakhulu ukuthi bantu labakhubatekile bafundziswe ngetindzaba tekukhetha. Uregister bantu laba 22,000 webantu labaphila nekukhubateka. Siyatfokota kakhulu nje ngokuthi ba register ngetinombolo letiphakeme.
Commissioner welibandla letelukhetfo nemingcele Dr. Njabu Dlamini uthi basetawubuka ukuthi yini labangachubeka bayende kuthuthukisa indlela abantu labakhubatekile labakhetha ngayo.
Nyakeni letako sitawuzama ukuthi si-improve. Kukhona labangaboni, kukhona labasebenta ngetandla, bave ngetandla. Konke lokho kusafuna kusikwende ukuthi laka ibhisi nakhona sibe nekuthi nangabe kukhona umhlangano lothide noma nangabe bawukhetha khona lebangakuva kube khona lotabandela ngale bathi sign language.
Mengameli wenhlangano lesambulelo setinhlangano tebantfu labakhubatekile kuleli bongane Magama uthi bayatfokota ngendlela labasitwe ngayo kulolu khetfo.
One of other things bekungona lokho ukuthi siyacela ukuthi abantu labakhubatekile babe involved kulabatawusebenta elikhethweni ngenhlanhla ke that one icishe isebentekile ngoba 80 people batawukhona kucashwa in the disability fraternity.
Ngekusho kwelibandla letelukhetfo nemingcele sivele sibhalisele lolukhetfo lwalonyaka sesisonke singetulu kwa 583,000. Etindzabeni teSwatini TV kubika Nelsiwendla ngamandla kunaNosipho Nsibande kanye naVumi Nkosi Nzinisa eMbabane.
Lo khulumela hulumende wakuleli Alpheus Nxumalo ukhutsata eMaswati lokufaka ekhatsi lawo lanemivo lehlukile encubeni yahulumende lokhona kuthi angaphunyukwa litfuba lekukhulumisana nekuveta imivo yawo. I-National Dialogue leminyetelwe Silo Inkosi Mswati wesithathu letawuba ngemuva kwelikhetfo lwelive loluchubekako. Nxumalo uthi hulumende utawenda noma ngayini kuthi wonke akhone kufinyelela esibayeni uma sekufika isikhathi se-National Dialogue. Ngakulokunye Nxumalo uvetile kutsi libandla letindvuna tembuso lokufaka ekhatsi leto lebetikatse timalunga eParliamente lese ichithwe litawuchubeka ke nekuba sehhovisi kude kuthi ingcweti yetemthetfo attorney general yakuleli yeluleka ngaloku kumele kwendeke.
Nine bakangwane lingasiphunyuki lelithuba. Hulumende utakwenda konke lokusemandleni kwekuthi noma ungubani noma ukuliphi likona ulithole lithuba lekufika esibayeni uyotibekela uventilate nawe konke lokusenhlitweni yakho nasengcondweni yakho ngalelive. Yebo nembala kube lukhuni kubuyisa lesimo kwekuthi eMaswati agcine efika lapha anekuthula khona lomhla kuze athole lelithuba lekusathatha ukukhulumisana lomhla kahle ku-national dialogue. Lo moya sitawucela nje ukuthi uchubeke nalaba lesihle sibeva abakhulukhuluma babuye naletafula selibekiwe noma ngawungibani uhulumende ucucutela lokho noma umcondo wakho uyawati kwekuthi awusiphophula nalokhomoni kulabanengi nalo iva imcondo kodwa nali lithuba awusakhulumi nemuntu nyalo awusakhulumi nalabanye ema-peers akho noma ema-political opponents or competitors akho so ukhuluma nenkosi yemhlaba hamba uyobeka lokubekako noma kwehluke kangakanani inkosi yemhlaba itawuvula indlebe iwalalele onke eMaswati la kubekako njengoba takubeka bese ke kuyabonakala ukuthi live likuthatha njani ukusebenza lokukwenda kuba ngumgomo wekususa lelive lalikhona khona lichubeke liyembili kutentuthuko.
Libandla letelkhetfo nemingcele lithi lisahlolisisa ukuthi onke emagama lababhalisile avela kahle yini emishinini kungakayiwa esigabeni lesilandzelako selukhetfo. Lakhulumela lelibandla mbonisi Bhembe uthi abemaningi emagama latfolakele kuthi awabhaliseki kahle lekuyintfo labayilungisako.
Ngalesithathu kulolu viki lelisetulu bekulusuku lokugcina lokuhlola ukuthi luhla lwamagama alababhalisile lababhalisele kuvota ayavela yini ku-voters roll. Nanoma-ke kube netinkinga lapho khona labanye bakhanse bavela lapho bangabhalisanga khona kanti-ke labanye kabavela inhlobo. Lokukhulumela libandla letelekhetfo lemingcele mbonisi Bhembe uthi savele bacalile kuhlolisisa ngalokuphelele ukuthi imishini kayikaphambatisi yini luhla lwebantfu lababhalisele kuvota.
Libandla ke litawube lisebenta kusukela nje waqala lo msebenzi wokuhlola emabito ebantfu kuyo i-voters roll liyaqhubeka liyasebenta ukuthi labangakatfolakali libabuyisele labatfolakala ukuthi abasibo kuleyo ndzawo sibasonzelele dudane kutokhuluma nabo ukuthi ungabe kungesiphosiso yini nobe kungenhloso letsini lokuthi batholakale etindzaweni letingasito tabo sithi asigcizelele kusosi ukuthi ibandla lilala benyoni kwende emalungiselelo alo lukhetfo lapho khona sifuna kuba nelukhetfo loluhlobile lukhetfo loluhlandekile lukhetfo lolucotho lutawuthola ukuthi bonke abantu lokufanele ukuthi bavotele kuleyo ndzawo bayatfolakala labangasiyo kanjalo sigcine sibatholele indzawo yabo lapho kufanele ukuthi bayovota khona.
Bhembe uthi batawuseke bayasatisa sive ikakhulu leso lesitsinzekile satikhanza sivele lapho singakabhaliseli khona kulungisa-ke tiphambeko kusayiwa embili esigabeni esilandzelako selukhetho. Etindzabeni ngingiyani Msibeni Nasimuva Shongwe nasindiswa Zwane enkhanini.
Mapalani lomkhulu etiko letekulima Sydney Simelane uthi lakuleli litawutfutfukisa tinhlelo tekwesekelwa ngetimali tekulima kuleli njengaloku loluhlangothi lukhinyabeteka melula uma kunesomiso noma ke tikhukhula bese kubade sivuno. Mapalani ukusho lokhu ngesikhathi leli tiko lihlangene nalabatsindzekako kubuketa umbiko welihlelo lakuleli loluhambisana nalelo lelivekati lase-Afrika lekulwa nendlala lolwatiwa ngekuthi yi-Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program.
Kulandzela tivumelwano letentiwa amava sevenikati lase-Afrika ekulwa nendlala litiko letekulima selibamba umhlangano wetinhlangothi letitsindzekako kutekulima kubuketa ipoti letotfula emhlanganweni lomkhulu wenhlangano yemava ase-Afrika i-African Union lotako. Mapalani lomkhulu etiko letekulima Sydney Simelane uchaza ngalokwentiwa live kulwa nendlala.
Sahlala phasi nema-stakeholders and sabuketa lokho ukuthi singayisolva kanjani lendzaba yehanga. So lapha ke sine ma stages lesibekelene wona ukuthi by this time sidabe sende naku nanaku ngiko ke sithi ke sesito review namhla la ukuthi le report yethu lesesibhalile ihambe kahle nema stakeholders ayayemukela yini. Lokunye lesifuna ukupromote ngalama activities ethu i-intra Africa trade sifuna ukuthi kube kuningi lokuthengiselana emkhathini wemave ase-Afrika ngobe siyabona ukuthi mhlawumbe kulesi sikhathi nasithengiselana namave la overseas letinto ukhanza ukuthi tigcina bese tiyadula kube nema complications ukuthi tifika kanjani lela sitimikisa khona. Kokugcina-ke sifuna ukukhuluma nje nge-mutual accountability kulama actions ethu, lokusho ukuthi sifuna ukuthi sikhone ukuthi sive sisibekele kahle ukuthi ama-achievements lesesiwendile ahambe afika la.
Livekati lase-Afrika latibekela ukuthi ngeminyaka wa-2025 libe seliyincobile indlala etindzabeni kubika Fortune Dlangamandla titfombe titfolakele etikolo letekulima ehlangothini letekuchumana.
Libandla lelibuke umthandazo welive lotawuba ngemgcibelo kuleli viki selimemetele kwekuthi setikhona tinqola letetfala sive lesiya kulo mthandazo. Lesimemetelo sentiwe ngusihlalo waleli bandla Mavovo Mkhondvo etiko letasekhaya eMbabane.
Sikahoho esifundeni sakahoho siyibhasi yethu yokuqala itawusuka esigodlweni ebuhleni iphume via Madlangampisi via Mliba Mafutseni iyofika esondweni lesive, bese leyesibili itawusuka eSpiki edolobheni laseSpiki ihambe kumaguga Bonkhaba Motshane itoti iyofika esondweni lesive. Bese-ke leqhamuka kaManzini ngathi yakasifundza sakaManzini yona ivele isuka eBhunya esifundeni sakaManzini. Bese eLubonjeni ibhasi kwekuhamba kwethu kusuka ibhasi yethu isuka eHlane bese lelenye isuka eMpumalanga esigodlweni nangithi Hlane na eMpumalanga kusesigodlweni lapho. Tabe tisuka khona lamabhasi ethu omabili cishe azatofika esondweni lesive Shiselo Hluthi Police Station etabisuka khona nasesandleni Inkhundla nakugege via Mangayane shothi suka kugege ihamba ngaseMangayane itayitofika esondweni lesive. Kungaba kugcizelela ke ngiso isikhathi sekusuka ngo7 ekuseni lokusho singa7 cela ukuthi sive leso lesitemthandazweni bazalwane babe sebasesiteshini lapho batawuthatheka khona.
Kutemidlalo seyisukunyiswe ngalokusemthethweni indzebe yeBible Society yeminyaka wa-2023 letawuphindze ifake emacembu lamane lokuyimbabane Highlanders levikela lendzebe iMoneni Pirates, iManzini Wanderers kanye neDenver Sundowns. Lemidlalo itawudlalwa mhla ka-5 enyangeni letako emavuso kaManzini. Kanti-ke lendzebe iphindze yasekelwa ngemali lengu-300,000 emalangeni.
Seyisukunyiswe ngalokusemthethweni indzebe yeBible Society yeminyaka wa-2023 letawuphindze ifake emacembu lamane lokuyimbabane Highlanders levikela lendzebe iMoneni Pirates, iManzini Wanderers kanye neDenver Sundowns. Umphathi weBible Society Mbuli Ngcobo uthi umchuthelwano walendzebe ukhomba kukhula sibili.
Since le emuva 2017 umsebenzi ubemuhle kakhulu. Uma sicalako sacala nemacembu lamabili bekungilawa akho acting mayor Aleka Manzini bekuyi Moneni bekuyi Rada bekuyi Sundowns neWanderers kungilankhala lamabili lebe sebenda nawo, and siyawabonga lama teams ankhala lamabili ngokuthi aqala info lenhle ayicala then asayayiblowa.
Lokhulumele iEswatini Football Association kanye nePremier League of Eswatini Sibusiso Nxumalo uchazile ukuthi lendzebe iyingcenye yemichuthelwano leletha abalandzeli labanyenti etinkundleni temidlalo.
The Premier League and the Football Association fully supports this competition as it promotes the moral and spiritual values gained from reading and practicing the Word of God.
Labakhulumele masipala welidolobha lakaManzini babonge kakhulu ukuthi solo kwacala lendzebe ngeminyaka 2017 ibanjelwa kuleli dolobha. Kube sekudonsana emacembu lapho khona umdlalo wokuqala utawuba semkhatsini weManzini Wanderers kanye neDenver Sundowns, bese emdlalweni wesibili iMoneni Pirates itawutholana eTulu neMbabane Highlanders. Kuphinzwe kwafakwa imali lengu-300,000 emalangeni kulendzebe njengeminyaka lophelile kanti imidlalo itawudlalwa mhla ka-5 enyangeni letako khona emavuso kamanzini. Ndzabeni Eswatini TV kubika Themkosi Mavimbela, umbiko uhlanganiswe nguFabrice Msonera.
Lesikuphathele tona tindzaba tesiswati asitsatse isimo selitulo sibahlole emakethe nasibuya lungelele ukukhulumisana nebaka Eswatini Revenue Service.
Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. As we had mentioned, Guti will be joined by Eswatini Revenue Service Communications Director and on the show, but also today is the 14th of July. It is the deadline for a payment of a pay as you earn from employers. See, union pay as you earn and also how is it calculated. Because it is the deadline. Good morning, Kosi again on the show. Pay as you earn. I think sasikhulumile kaningi na last week nje wayiveta indzaba ephezweni ukuthi ibhadalwa mhlambe kabili yini ngeminyaka yesi. Kumele ngasichazela nje ukuthi vele yini kahle kahle iphezweni.
Okay, thank you Lulu and sibonge nelithuba. Yes, ngicela ukuqala ngikucondzisa ukuthi iphezweni ibhadalwa ngidawuthi njalo na ucetha ukukholela December. Lokusho ukuthi ibhadalwa ngenyanga ngoba siyathi isikhathi lesiningi labaningi bahola njalo ngenyanga. Kepha-ke ngiyakuva ukuthi kuqhamuka ukuthi mhlawumbe kabili kuyaye bese kuthi nakuphele umnyaka wemthelo bese umcashi-ke so wenta naku lesithi reconciliation ngilapho-ke khona asasitshela khona ukuthi le phezulu and lebe ayibamba njalo ngenyanga vele uyibambe ngendlela lengiyo yini. Now, I think the most important thing ukuthi iphezulu and kwaqala ngumthelo weDisemba. Kusho ukuthi ngumthelo lona lobhadalwa ngumuntu losebenzako. Now, that then means njalo ngenyanga.
Ngasikuklabele nje Nkosi kwangathi kunenkinga la kumele siyilungise nje. Let's quickly take a break sitawubuya nje khona manje.
Hey yo, this is DJ Cybers. What's up guys, King J's here.
My name is Kripo Intellectual.
What's up everybody, my name is SK.
Hey guys, this is your girl Z.
This weekend Eswatini has been such an amazing show. For all the years they've always supported all the local talent and all the local shows.
Catch This Weekend Eswatini every Fridays.
It's one of the best entertainment shows Eswatini.
So guys, you know what? This is the best show to have. Like if you watch Swazi TV and you're a person who actually enjoys watching like musical shows that have a lot of content, that have good stuff, This Weekend Eswatini is your show.
For all the good vibes, all the good energy, make sure you tune in to This Weekend Eswatini every Friday from 5:30 to 6:30. I'll say it again, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m.
A 1-hour fun-filled train of entertainment. We are taking you from 5:30 all the way to 6:30 every Friday, live on Eswatini TV.
And yes, of course, we are your #1 entertainment show in the kingdom of Eswatini. But you can interact with us on all social media platforms. We are at This Weekend Eswatini on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Lalela Tina will definitely get back to you. This is your official weekend party starter.
I don't wanna go around singing songs that people don't.
Welcome back. Sakuvusela nalo sanza kusivulela sikhuluma tindzaba tekubhadalwa kwemithelo lo mhla sikhuluma kabanti nge-pay as you earn bese sichazela lapha communications director Vusi Dlamini ukuthi iyini pay as you earn ukuthi ngitiphi itinkampani noma ke amabhizinisi le bhadala lo hlobo lo mthelo bosachaza ngikwazi ukuthi i-pay as you earn ngumthelo lobhadalwa ngumcashi njalo ngenyanga sinochuba nje sichazele ukuthi vele ngitiphi leti inkampani noma amabhizinisi lekumele ukuthi awubhadale lo mthelo.
Kunjalo lo kusho ukuthi emabhizinisi lokufanele abhadale lo mthelo njengoba ushit ukuthi iphezulu and iju lamuhla lokusho ukuthi siyaye sithi njalo ngamhla ka14 wenyanga lelandzelako sibheke ukuthi wonke umcashi even la kangwane kusho ukuthi nangabe uyibusiness ucashe bantfu kwecala uyayithi na ubhalisela lemithelo ubhalisele yonke imithelo mhlawumbe losuke icishe ngilawuthi irrelevant to you ubhalisela iVAT nangabe kusho ukuthi uthengisa leto timpahla letifika noma ke letingetulu kwa 500,000 kanti futhi tifanele tibhadala umthelo weVAT nangabe ke ungileyo nkampani leyo yakhiwe ngekuthi ifuna inenhloso yekwakha inzuzo nakulesithi profit utawubhalisela ne-corporate tax sichizelela ke ukuthi vele tinkampani letinenge tiyayithi thina tisebenzene ngebantfu lokho ke kusho ukuthi kufuna kubhalisela umthelo wephezulu and ngekuthi labo bantfu batawubhadala mhlawumbe naku lesithi ngumthelo wephezulu and lesikhuluma ngayo lamhla so kuphendula umbuto wakho kafishane ukuthi ngibo bonke mhlawumbe labo labaqhuba ibhizinisi labanetisebenzi noma ke labacashe abantu
labanetisebenzi so ukubona nje ukuthi ngibekise nje ngusomabhizinisi lomncane unebhizinisi yakhe lencane ucashe babili bathathu bantfu ingabe naye lokubhekile ukuthi ayithathe imali kuleso sebenzi sakhe ngibekise nje mhlambe ngasomabhizinisi losebenza lapha kaSedco unebhizinisi mhlambe yekupheka kudla noma yekuthunga timpahla ucashe bamvu labayithula bamsetako ingabe vele mhlambe sithini ngalabo somabhizinisi lapho
umbuto wecala uthi kwecala mhlawumbe labo somabhizinisi labo kufuna babe babhalisile kubhalisela umthelo na ukubhalisela umthelo ke kusho kona njengoba ngizama kuyibeka ukuthi siyaye bese kuyabuka ukuthi kuloku bhalisa leyo business yakho ihlobo lolu lwebhizinisi kulomthelo lesikhuluma ngawo lamuhla kwathiwa nje sowucashe umuntu leyo business yakho iformal safe sebenza ngalokusemthethweni ibhalisile yabhalisa yaba nemuntu mhlawumbe lemcashile kubhekeka ukuthi kufuna kubhalisela iVA umthelo wephezulu lokho ke kuphindze kubuyele ekutheneni kunangombuto wakho ukuthi kufanele nangabe amunye loyo muntu umbambele umthelo wephezulu uthi lemphendulo lapho yebo kufanele noma ngabe munye babili noma bathathu wacasha nje umuntu embeleni uthi lo mthetho wethu wacasha umuntu kufanele ukuthi njalo noma ngabe uyafika esigabeni sekokuthi abhalele abanje lo mthelo noma akefiki ngoba bakhona labangefiki kufanele ukuthi ubike njalo ngenyanga ukuthi ngimcashile lolu liqiniso amane akafike esigabeni sekubhadala umthelo kepha ke sibikele njalo ngenyanga ngoba liqiniso lithi ngalenye langa utawuhamba afike
Yeah, so sisakhuluma ngaleyo nje Nkosi indzaba yekufika ngingafika. I think I was just going through nje page lenu ka Facebook lan post khona le video lan khuluma khona ngalomthelo lona. Ukhona lobutile nje question ukuthi ngabe is it legal for an employer to deduct i-payee from an employee with a gross income of 3,000 emalangeni?
Well, I think for me, the one interrogation that you need to do there, good say, what is the gross income? Because if I'd say, for instance, a gross income, the principle is if your total remuneration, no matter angeke ngithi gross income per se, yebo kona i-gross income technically, but labanye ukhanza ukuthi nababuka i-gross income, ubuka le payslip yakhe, abuke ukuthi 3,000 emalangeni, imali lengena as a gross, bese ke mhlawumbe sekuba netishwana letikhishwako ukuze ngigcine ngibhadala lo lengibhadalwa kona. Kepha ke liqiniso lithi ungamhola 3,000 emalangeni as your basic salary nangabekisa kanjalo. Ukhanza ukuthi sekunana kulesithi ngema benefits langema benefits mhlawumbe la in kind sisho njalo. Uthola ukuthi umcashi mhlawumbe ukunika indlu yamahala. Utawubona utawunotha lapho ukuthi lulu kude imali lengenako kuwe. Kepha ke technically nasikhulumela kubala i-gross income yakho. Leyo mali leyo lesithi imali ye rent lengabe uyayibhadala kepha umcashi ukunika lendlu yokuthi uhlale kuyo mahala. I benefit that then goes into the whole basic income then, which then would then get to a position where you will have to pay tax. So lona lothi ubutile nje, I'm not very sure ukuthi lema circumstances akhe athini, but in principle I think it pays you any to start from 3,416. I think that's from there and above, that's when you start paying pay-as-you-earn. But if you've got some benefits, likely you will pay pay-as-you-earn because then the benefits afagwa, the in-kind benefits afagwa kule basic yakho, and then you find that you get taxable.
Okay, so ngifuna sibuyele kule yabo somabhizinisi labancane, as you did say ukuthi kumele basho ukuthi babhalisele vele lokuthi banebhizinisi kokuqala nje babhalisele ukuthi batawubhadala umthelo, but can they make an excuse ukuthi ngine-staff lesincane naso sihola kancane so angeke ngikhona kuba deductela imali emholweni wabo? Ingabe kuhamba njani nje kulelo hlangothi lolo?
The starting point here is how much do they earn. If they are earning 3,416 and above, as
so
I said, if it's below, they will not pay pay-as-you-earn per se. But it's nase kwendeka nase babalile ukuthi bangayibhadala pay-as-you-earn. Otherwise the principle yakhona ithi wonke umuntu uyayibhadala pay-as-you-earn lo sebendako. Lolo kwenda ukuthi laba ngaphasi kwa 3,416 bangayibhadali. It's because of what we call saphulelo semthelo, which is a rebate. Labanye bacabanga ukuthi rebate is a refund that comes to them, but it's a rebate ngla uphulelwa khona umthelo, which applies to everyone that is working. Leso saphulelo umthelo ke bese senda ukuthi wena mhlawumbe lohola imali lencane ugcine ubona kwangathi awubhadala umthelo because vele sekwenda ukuthi ungasafiki kulesigaba sekuthi utheliswe. Otherwise the long and short of it is that if you are earning below the threshold, then you will not deduct pay-as-you-earn as an employer, but you should still report to us ukuthi unato tisebendile kuleyo nyanga and tihole imali lengaka. And at the end of the tax year, which is end of June, nyalo nje loku sesicale kuJuly, sibheke ukuthi by end of September sitawubuya sikhuluma ngale nyalanga. Indzaba ye reconciliation is actually what is important. Otherwise, what is crucial, especially today, ukuthi siyabacela baqashi bonke ukuthi abayilethe i-pay-as-you-earn because they deduct it from employees, and then the expectation is that they should actually remit it to the ERS so that but to avoid ukuthi batkhanze sebangena kuma penalties, which then starts eating from what they would be making as profits, because once le mali bangayilethi, then we'll be expecting that they will actually be the ones that are paying that money.
Alright, so another question lengithatha Facebook because bayabuta vele basithini bayasithathela i-pay as you earn but abasinike i-statement lesisho ukuthi le mali iyefika lapho kini uthi lona una 6 years lapha emsebenzini but akazange sakasithole leso statement uthi kumele ende njani ingabe vele mhlambe ama-cases la kanjena niyawathola ningi-ERS.
Yes, we do get such cases, and CISCT, because obviously you will not respond to that person and say on the wall and say "Stella gutsi uwende kanje." But the principle is kufuna basinike the name of the company. You should tell us who it is so that we can talk to the employer and check what exactly is happening. Because we do expect that all employers, when they've deducted pay as you earn, bring it on a monthly basis, like the 14th, as we say today. Then at the end of the year, of the tax year, latest 30 September, sibheka ukuthi bonke abaqashi kufuna babe bareconcile banike tisebenzi tabo lawo nakule sithi ngama PAYE 05 certificates lokuthi tifiketi letisho ukuthi umthelo umnyaka uqalile waze waphela ubanjelwe longanani njengesisebenzi ngoba sikhumbule ukuthi lo mthelo usukubanjwe kuwe.
Okay. So kuyendeka yini vele mhlambe ukuthi vele leyo nkampani leyo kuphela iminyaka ebesolo ingayilethi imali kini but i-deduct ngala kumcashi wayo and nangabe sokhanza ukuthi eyikoleta mhlambe sikhathi lesingangabo 5 years nibese nithathela inyathelo dini ningi-ERS.
We have seen that happening, and we have called upon those businesses to come forward so that we talk about those debts. We don't expect ukuthi kuze kufike 5 years solo mhlambe unaleto tinkinga ungakhoni kuletha i-pay as you earn, especially because usuke uyibambile ku-37 tab. We normally sit with, it's something that we don't really I would say we frown upon to negotiate issues of pay as you earn, and for the simple reason that this is money that you would have deducted from your employees, and we expect that you must actually remit it, just like VAT. It's money that you would have collected from your customers, and we expect that you should remit it to us. But we do still call them to come forward and talk with us. Where we can, we will, depending on the circumstances, we will agree payment terms. And then eventually we then hope that people can liquidate those debts labasuke banawo from a tax perspective.
Okay. So namhlanje kungulo 14 July yini kahle kahle labayendako baqashi ngimuphi lo mbiko lekumele ukuthi bawuthumelele ku-ERS.
Kusho ukuthi nje basically ngaJune bantu basebenzile kuleyo business yakho, then ke uphelile June sithi ke sikunika up to mhlaka 14 lokusho ukuthi kusukela mhlaka the time bahola bamvu you can start bringing in the pay as you earn. We then say I deadline ngumhlaka 14. The simple reason previously bekungumhlaka 7, but because everything is now done online, there is no much work that then needs to be done on our side to capture all that information because this is done on our e-tax platform. Weqala sibheke ukuthi batawube bawubambile loyo mthelo ku.70 dabo basho ukuthi bayati ukuthi tingaki le .70 nekuthi tihola imali lenganani ukuthi dibhadele umthelo longanani loyo mthelo ke bese bayawubhadala by the end of day today baphindze basubmit lelo return which is submitted online. Payments also, we emphasize they are done online, either using internet banking, mobile money. If they walk into our service centers, we always say they will come there and they will use either mobile money or they will swipe.
So basically kusetshenziswa online vele.
Yes.
Bayati vele baqasha ukuthi kusetshenziswa online. Right. Last question nje your contact details mhlawumbe khona la kusele nje labafise ukubuta kini as ERS.
Our contact details in an event bafuna kubuta noma ke sebane ma challenges ngena ku e-tax inombolo yethu it's 2406 4050. That's our contact center. Nabafuna kuthola a quick response also, we are there on WhatsApp. Our number is 7606 3735, and we also encourage them to use the platforms like Facebook. But if they want to ask something very specific to their businesses. But the crucial thing is that today is the deadline, and we want to emphasize pay as you earn is due, the return which should be submitted online together with the payment which can be done in any banks or in our service centers through the different platforms.
All right. No, thank you so much, Ngosike Vakala. Sithemba ukuthi izodivele ke mbukeli ukuthi today is the deadline ebhadalwa kwe-pay as you earn. Kepha-ke kuvaka abantu ungachumana nabo baka ERS bado uchazela kuloko lokusele lo mhla. Let's take a break. Sitawubuya in traffic update.
Nene bekunene kusetandleni tesive ukuthi imimango ingagcini kukampunzi edla emini sive sakangwane nebantu labakhethe kuhlala eSwatini abaphila ngekukhululeka nekuthi kubethe lo nyathelo lilungelo lalabanye egameni lekufuna lilungelo lakhe sive asikhumbule ukuthi emaphoyisa bomake nabobabe labadinikele kwenta siqiniseko ukuthi wonke umuntu lonempahla yakhe ingacekelwa phansi ngulomunye wonke umuntu akahlale ngekuthula nangaphandle kokwesaba tindwe letingatiwa emaphoyisa ngekulandzela nekushiqilela umthetho athi into yomuntu ayibe ngeyakhe umuntu sive asijinge siwabambise siphinde siwasekele emaphoyisa emsebentini wawo kude emalungelo aso sive osomabhizinisi kanye nebantu labasebentako anganyatheleki khona-ke imimango itawukwakha nemakhaya akhulise bantwana ngaso sandla lesiya emlonyeni emaphoyisa naso sive abasebente ngebudlelwane nangekubambisana kulwa nebucala netingoti temgwaco.
Siphinza sikwamukela ehlelweni sithathe i-traffic update from Constable Dombenhle Fakutse. Mntolo sikwamukela ehlelweni ngabe sime kanjani sime emigwaqweni?
Ngikuvusele Nxumalo, ngivusele naye umbukeli wekusile breakfast show. Imigwaqo elivela kangwane sesihlolile, imigwaqo iyahambeka. Singathanza nje nyalo ekseni kukhuthatha labo labatawusebenzisa imigwaqo ukuthi imigwaqo seyiqalile iyaphithitela ekhathi emadrobheni lamakhulu nakuyo imigwaqo emikhulu yelive sithi nje basashayela abashayeli abente isiqiniseko ukuthi imphawu letiphakanyisiwe emigwaqweni bayatilandzela ikakhulukazi litubane kwatise phela ukuthi ngilo esikhathini esiningi lokhanza lisibangela tingoti letinkulu kakhulu emadrobha elive ahloliwe tibane temgwaqo siyasebenza tonke ngalokufanele nemigwaqo lengenela kuwo iyahambeka ngaphandle nje kwedolobha lelikhulu laseMbabane la khona sibona imigwaqo leminengi ivaliwe kulandzela kona ukuthi sisebenzise emgwaqo siyayilungisa leyo migwaqo sithi nje asente siqiniseko ngaso sonke isikhathi ukuthi letimphawu le batibekile labo labasebenza khona emgwaqweni siyatilandzela singatikhanzi sesihambana lapho kungafanele khona le migwaqo ke ifaka ekhathi Makhosikhosi Road umgwaqo lo suka Chinese emarobotini emashayineni kuyawufika lapha ka-engine lo mgwaqo loyo ke utimoto lo disebenzisa munye umvila sithi nje bashayeli abanakisise khona lapho kukhuthatha ke bashayeli ikakhulukazi labaqhamuka khona kaMsunduza ukuthi abangaze bete batawusebenzisa leso sidaladi leso kwathi sephela ukuthi ukhona umgwaqo longenela khona i-industrial site longena khona ekhathi edolobheni ngekukhululeka lo ukahle kude lokungamphazamisa umshayeli kulowo mgwaqo lomunye ke umgwaqo sidaladi lesivaliwe umsakado street lesilapha eceleni kwasemsakadweni kuya lapha endasi enkantolo sithi nje bashayeli nakhona lapho abanakisise leyo umsakado ke uthelelana nazo ide street naZeliwe street letaladi lesilapha lethamba ngendla kwase CTA sithi nje bashayeli abente isiqiniseko khona lapho kwathi sephela kuthi leso sisetshenziswa kakhulu abantu lababheka khona kubothembelihle nabo golf course sithi nje la uyakhona kubo golf course yena siqiniseko ukuthi uvele uhamba uya kuGwamile street ngoba lapho udatikhanza sowujika sowubambeleleka lesinye sitaladi lesivaliwe Musozisa Road lesuka kuleli garage la ka Total lesibheka khona eCheckers nakhona lapho timotolo tisebenzisa munye umvila lokwenta kwekuthi kube lukhuni kakhulu lapho kusebenzisa kusebenziseka kwa umgwaqo ngoba leso strat leso sihamba timotolo letiningi kakhulu ikakhulukazi ngesikhathi sekuphithitela. Siyakhuthaza nje kubo bashayeli ikakhulukazi labo labatabe bangena khona ekhathi edrobheni kwekuthi abamsebenzise naye Somhlolo Road sitela lesuka khona esport siye khona ekhathi edolobheni kwathi sephela ukuthi sesivuliwe yebo kona asikadwetshwa emalayini kesha njeke imotolo lapho ihamba ngekukhululeka nekusebenzisa ke leminye imigwaqo kuze kuthi sigweme ukuthi sibambeleleke sisangena khona ekhathi edolobheni. Lo umgwaqo lomkhulu losuka khona ehekeni laseNgwenya uye khona kaManzini uyahambeka ngaphandle nje kwekuthi lapha eMangwaneni kuyo ihighway nawubheka khona kaManzini ungafiki lapha kule Y junction noma ke ungafiki la kuhlangana khona umgwaqo loqhamuka khona tibane temgwaqo taseMangwaneni nakhona eNgwenya kuneloli lapho efele khona ekhathi emgwaqweni ivimbe umvila longasencele nje bashayeli abanakisise nabasebatawufika khona lapho letinye ke tifunza sitihlolile nato isifunza nje saseshiselweni la khona nakhona imigwaqo ilungiswa sithi nje yonke indzawo la khona kuphazamiseka khona emigwaqweni asinakeni kuze kuthi siphephe ngale kwaloko Mnguni naye umbukeli imigwaqo elivela kaNgwane iyahambeka ngaphandle nje kwalesi lesentishito tisikabedo ungaba kufisela yena umbukeli usuku loluhle naloluphephile basetawusebenzisa yona imigwaqo elivela kaNgwane.
Sibonge Mndolo sikhathi sakho lomhla ekseni naloyo mbiko losiphe wona nanike sinifisela lusuku loluhle nisasebenza sibahlole emarket.
Love.
Hey,
So yabavumela abantwana bangena social media.
Khuleka sithando sami. I've put parental control on their devices.
Okay. Oh. What's wrong manje Sipho? Ndiwasona nje. Let's report this account.
Umsakazo wetithombe iEswatini TV utibophelele kuhlonipha nekulandzela umgomo wetekusakata loweluswe libandla letekuchumana eveni.
Ngephansi kwalomgomo sitimisele kusakata tindzaba letenteka ngaleso sikhatsi tindzaba letide emagama lacosheme letitsembekile letitsinza tonke tinhlangothi naletisebaleni
kusukela kutepolitiki, tetemphilo, tekulima, tetinkantolo netemhlaba wonke jikelele siniletsela tindzaba njengoba tinjalo ngaleso sikhatsi letenteka ngaso.
Kanzi kulomsakato siphindze sikulethele lonke luhlobo lwetemidlalo kusuka emidlalweni welibhola letinyawo kuye emidlalweni ledlalelwa ematafuleni kanye naleto letichamuka ngaphandle kwakuleli.
Leti tindzaba lowutiletselwa ngumsakazo wetithombe iEswatini TV.
Good morning and welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. This is the news. His Majesty King Mswati III says Laqabetelago should go back to their communities to take part in the national elections. This was revealed by Invona Mangomeni Nzimanze when dispersing Libutho at Lusisini rural residence. This was after the regiment completed their royal duty of cleaning, sorting and storing sorghum.
La Cwebetelago started with dancing umgubo in the Ketlibaya at Lutsitsini rural residence. This is after the regiment was done with their royal duty that they were summoned for. And this is a cultural event that has been there for so many years. Warriors are supposed to respond to the royal call whenever they are summoned by the king. Indvuna Mangomeni Nzimanze says the king and Ngwenyama, His Majesty King Mswati III, applauds the great work that has been done by Libutlo during this royal duty. The Indvuna also encouraged the regiment to go back into their communities and take part in the national elections exercise.
Asekuthiwe nje iParliament yalonyaka kukhethwe abantu lebafanele bomake nabo babe nemajaha embutho natshelwa ngibani ukuthi umbutho awuye eParliament. Aphela umbutho ngibona utawulayela abantu indlela ukuthi bakangwane naye lebahamba ngayo. Ngako ke bajaha njengaloko imbube emhlaba itosikhulula lamuhla etsasambeni sesiyobuka ngasemakhaya asike uphumula kuthi indvodza lephumula kwekhaya. Ekhaya ngila kusetshenzwa khona. Hawu sengathatha umhlala phansi. Sengaphumula ekhaya. Ungaphumula ekhaya bangadlali bantwana. Nawuphumulile. Ngako ke majaha inkosi ithi lamuhla iyasikhulula sihambe semakhaya siyoyenza imisebenzi emakhaya abobaba njalo kulesilapha nje beyimile. Ngiloko ke majaha betha
Shu majaha sasiyawubonana elikhethweni umoni malawo majaha sasiyawubonana elikhethweni ngithi ngasa kabwe masa khadi
La Cwebetelago are expected to continue with this royal duty in other royal residences as they have been summoned in the Shiseloni region. On the news, I'm Polile Mazia at Lutsitsini Rural Residence.
The Prime Minister, Cleopas Dlamini, says there is a great need for African countries to harmonize their health regulatory systems. The Prime Minister says this will help fulfill the aspirations of the U.S. government, which has positioned itself to support the African region once they have completed the task. The Prime Minister was speaking to Eswatini TV after attending the plenary session on health in Botswana, where he is representing His Majesty King Mswati III.
Kuletempilo nakhona kubonakale ukuthi singemave ase-Afrika sinemithetho lehlukahlukene kwekuthi siphethe kanjani letempilo.
The Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini says the U.S. government has promised to support infrastructure and equipment funding in Africa. The Prime Minister says African member states are expected to harmonize their regulatory systems in readiness to accept this support. Furthermore, the Prime Minister says it transpired during the plenary session that the different regulatory standards within the African region prevent them from benefiting maximally from the U.S. government. The Prime Minister concluded the interview by stating that the government of Eswatini, through the Ministry of Health, remains committed to strengthen the area of regulation. Bongan Matsebula, Eswatini TV News, Ntlokweng, Botswana.
22,000 people living with disabilities have registered for this year's national elections. The Undersecretary in the Deputy Prime Minister's office, Kusile Dlamini, said this during the consultative meeting between different stakeholders on the representation of people living with disabilities in the upcoming national elections.
In a meeting held at Mountain View in Babane, the Undersecretary says in the future they are hoping to formulate policies that will better address issues of people living with disabilities during the national elections.
Sikukhanza kumcoka kakhulu ukuthi abantu labakhubatekile bafundziswe ngetindzaba tekukhetha uregister abantu laba 22,000 webantfu labaphila nekukhubateka siyatfokota kakhulu nje ngokuthi ba register ngetinombolo letiphakeme.
Elections and Boundaries Commission's Dr. Njabu Dlamini says they are hoping to upgrade their voting systems to cater for all sections of people living with disabilities.
Nyakeni letako sitawuzama ukuthi si-improve. Kukhona labangaboni, kukhona labasebenza ngetandla, bave ngetandla. Konke lokho kusafuna kusikwende ukuthi laka IBC nakhona sibe nekuthi nangabe kukhona umhlangano lothide noma nangabe bawukhetha khona lebangakuva kube khona lotabandela ngale bathi sign language.
The president of the Federation of People Living with Disabilities, Bongani Makama, says the Elections and Boundaries Commission has tried to cater for people living with disabilities, as evident in the hiring of 80 of their members.
One of other things bekungona lokho ukuthi siyacela ukuthi abantu abakhubatekile babe involved kulabata usebenza elikhethweni ngenhlanhla ke that one icishe isebendekile ngoba 80 people batawukhona kucashwa in the disability fraternity.
According to the Elections and Boundaries Commission, over 583,000 people have registered for this year's national elections. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Langamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
The Minister of Finance, Neil Reckenberg, says government is working on an electronic system to manage government accounts in order to prevent unaccounted for expenditure and further control procurement fraud. The minister said this when explaining what government is doing to prevent over-expenditure, which has been a challenge for government over the years.
Before one can really focus on reducing the cost of procurement, one does need to get one's payments on time, in time. So the supplier, when they supply something, they can supply it at a very reasonable price, knowing that they're getting their money according to the terms that have been agreed upon. And so that has been the first thing. But at the same time, there has been a lot of work done by SPPRA and in procurement in general to be able to reduce the abuse of, let's say, abusive escalations of price. Thirdly, we are now far down the road working with the government of Rwanda on installing IFMIS, an integrated finance management system, which means that our government accounts will now be more up to date and be able to be more electronic and be integrated with the rest of the system. And e-procurement is the first bolt-on that we're having to that to make sure that e-procurement can also happen at a world standard.
Government Press Secretary Alpheus Nxumalo encourages all eMaswati, including those with opposing views, to make use of the upcoming national dialogue that is set to take place after the ongoing national elections, which was announced by His Majesty King Mswati III on Tuesday at Sibaya. Nxumalo says government will do everything possible to ensure that all eMaswati reach Esibayeni to attend the national dialogue. On another note, Nxumalo also mentioned that cabinet ministers shall remain in office, including those who were elected in their constituencies, until the Attorney General advises otherwise.
It is true, Ninibagangwane Webuti, the time has come, as these measures have announced. It was difficult to bring this country to a calm environment and situation where we are today, but we are taking this opportunity to thank the King for having afforded the nation the latitude to have an opportunity through a national dialogue exercise to be able to ventilate and submit and air their political views and other developmental views. We are only urging all eMaswati to take this opportunity without any hesitation. Even those who feel they are holding completely diverse political opinions in terms of their peers and in terms of what is popular, we are saying this is your chance, that you must now speak loudly and speak clear. His Majesty has committed himself that he will listen to all eMaswati as they project their ideas during the national dialogue, And we are saying let each and everyone take this opportunity so that by September going forward, together we can forge and orchestrate and a country that is united, a country that is pursuing the same agenda, a country that is united in pursuing the same national interests.
The Elections and Boundaries Commission says they are cross-checking all anomalies and ensuring that there are no errors within their system before commencing with the next stage of the elections. The Communications Officer Mbonisi Pembe says everything will be in order soon.
Wednesday this week was the last day of the validation process where members of the public who had registered to vote were expected to check their names on the voters' roll. The Elections and Boundaries Commission Communications Officer Mbonisi Pembe says they are working on fixing any errors. He says indeed there were mix-up where a number of registered people could not find their names on the voters' roll.
Libandla ke litawube lisebenta kusukela nje waqala lo msebenzi wokuhlola imabito ebantfu kuyo i-voters roll liyaqhubeka liyasebenta ukuthi labangakatfolakali libabuyisele labatfolakala ukuthi abasibo kuleyo ndzawo sibasonzelele dudane kutokhuluma nabo ukuthi ungabe kungesiphosiso yini nobe kungenhloso letsini lokuthi batholakale etindzaweni letingasito tabo sithi asigcizelele kusosive ukuthi ibandla lalabenyoni kwende malungiselelo alo lukhetfo lapho khona sifuna kuba nelukhetfo loluhlobile lukhetfo loluhlandekile ukhetfo loluqotho lutawuthola ukuthi bonke abantu lokufanele ukuthi bavotele kuleyo ndzawo bayatfolakala labangasiyo kanjalo sigcine sibatfolele indzawo yabo lapho kufanele ukuthi bayovota khona.
Pembe says upon completion of double checking, they will call and alert those concerned so that they have a free and fair elections going to the next stage of the elections. Reporting for the Eswatini TV News, I am Kian Msibi with Smuva Shongwe and Sindiswa Zwane Nganini.
The Minister of Agriculture, Principal Secretary Sydney Simelane says Eswatini will enhance financing agricultural projects as most funders are reluctant to finance the sector as when hit by heavy rains or drought, there is no harvest. Simelane said this during the validation of the Eswatini report, which is in accordance with the African Union Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program.
African countries signed agreement to end poverty by making the African continent a food-stable one. The Minister of Agriculture has met stakeholders to validate Eswatini Comprehensive Africa Agriculture Development Program report in preparation for the next coming African Union Summit. The Minister of Agriculture Principal Secretary Sydney Simelane unpacks some of the initiatives to be taken by the country to end poverty.
This process is also aimed at fostering alignment, harmonization and coordination among sectoral efforts and multi-institutional platforms for peer review, mutual learning with the aim of continuously improving our programs. It is in this spirit that the report that we are validating today should represent the true picture of what each one of us, from the smallest unit to national level, have done towards attainment of the Malabo targets. From this report, we are expected to reflect and learn as various departments and institutions on what we need to do better to contribute to overall improved performance towards attaining the aspirations of the 7 commitments.
African countries undertook to end poverty by the year 2025. For Eswatini TV News, Fortune Dlangamandla, visual source from the Ministry of Agriculture Communications Department.
The National Prayer Organizing Committee has announced that transport will be available for members of the public who wish to attend the National Prayer this coming Saturday. The announcement has been made by the chairperson, Mavovo Mkhondvo, at the Ministry of Home Affairs.
Sifundeni sakahoho siyibhasi yethu yokuqala itawusuka esigodlweni ebuhleni iphume via Madlangambisi via Mliba Mafutseni iyofika esondweni lesive bese leyesibili itawusuka eSpiki edolobheni laseSpiki ihambe kumaguga Bonkhaba Motshane toti iyofika esondweni lesive.
The chairperson of the organizing committee says members of the public interested in attending the national prayer should keep time as all public transport will leave designated stations at 7 o'clock in the morning. He further says there will be 2 buses allocated for each region, requesting those who have personal cars to use them as the transport is limited.
Kungaba kugcizelela ke kiso isikhathi sekusuka ngu7 ekuseni.
The chairperson further says the church service at Lobamba National Church will start at 10 o'clock in the morning. For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Ngamandla, Nosipho Sibande, and Vuminkosi Nzinisa Mbabane.
The police are concerned with the high number of murder cases in the country. The Chief Police Information and Communications Officer, Superintendent Pindile Vilagati, says this month alone 10 murder cases have been reported.
Kule nyanga nje ya July sesibe nemibiko yabantu labangu-10 labafile etandleni talabanye bantfu. Kwehlukahlukene ke letinto leti banga ukuthi babulalane.
Superintendent Vilagati says the month of July has seen an increase in the number of murder cases. She says 10 cases have been reported so far, which is a high number considering that it is only the first or second week of July. She asked members of the public to report their differences as opposed to resorting to violence, which then leads to murder. She says some may be deals gone wrong, while some are crimes of passions.
Siyachubeka ke singemaphoyisa sibonga kakhulu inhlangano lethu sukumile kutama kulwa nayo le ndzaba yekubulalana kwesive.
She advises people to seek a third-party interference to settle their differences. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kian Msibi with Cindy Swazwane, Mbabane.
The Taiwan Africa Vegetable Initiative has donated farming inputs and equipment to 16 schools in the whole region. This is part of supporting the agriculture subject in schools. The handing over of the farming equipment took place at Eswatini Community School on Thursday.
The TAVI has donated farming inputs and equipment to schools. This follows an assessment of the need in schools under the agriculture subject. The project manager, Dr. Monica Murata, says there are 24 schools altogether that they support under the initiative.
Where we have been supporting them with the education on how to grow the nutritious traditional African vegetables, and after growing them, they are also giving those vegetables to their school children so that they can improve their nutritional status. So what we have been doing is we have been building the capacity of the schools so that they know how to produce those traditional African vegetables. After producing them, they are sending them to their kitchens. And school children, they are participating in the production of those vegetables, and they are quite excited to be producing those vegetables.
Patrick Shabang thanked on behalf of the schools.
This is going to go a long way since there is a great shortage of tools in schools. So instead of waiting for a long time, queuing for the few tools that are available, now learners will finish their job in a very short time. And this is going to improve production as well as the attitude to our subject, agriculture.
The TAVI project will continue with the assessment and assist the schools, especially with everything regarding to agriculture. The donation is worth 300,000 Malangeni. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I'm Kiani Msibi with Smuva Shongwe and Cindy Swazwane, Mbabane.
It's 19 minutes after 7. Let's take a look at our sports news. Bible Society Eswatini has launched the 5th edition of the Bible Society Cup to be held on the 5th of August this year at the Mavuso Sports Center in Manzini. This year's sponsorship is once again 300,000 Malangeni as last year.
The 2023 Bible Society Cup has officially been launched with the return of the last year's 4 clubs being defending champions Baba Highlanders, Monene Pirates, Manzini Wanderers and Denver Sanders, ensuring their presence even this year. Bible Society Chief Executive Officer Mbuli Ngcobo says that the tournament has grown since its inception back in 2017.
Since le emuva 2017 umsebenzi ubemuhle kakhulu. Uma siqala saqala nemaqembu lamabili bekungilawa akho acting mayor Aleka Manzini bekuyi Moneni bekuyi Rada bekuyi Sundowns ne Wanderers kungilankhala lamabili lebe sebenda nawo and siyawabonga lama teams ankhala lamabili ukuthi aqala info lenhle ayiqala then asayayiblowa.
Representative from the National Football Association and the Premier League of Eswatini, who were represented by Subsiso Nxumalo, says the tournament is amongst the local crowd pullers tournament in the country.
The Premier League and the Football Association fully supports this competition as it promotes the moral and spiritual values gained from reading and practicing the Word of God.
The City Council of Manzini applauded the well job done by the society, clubs and supporters at large for their support since the tournament took place in Manzini. The draw was then conducted where Manzini Wanderers will play Denver Sundowns in the first game, while defending champions Bafana Highlanders will face Monene Pirates. Games will be held on the 5th of August this year at the Mavso Sports Center in Manzini. The tournament sponsorship is worth 300,000 emalangeni, which is equal to last year's edition. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Babani.
The Embassy of the United States of America, in conjunction with the Eswatini Football Association, continues with their program of developing women football in the country, especially at school level. The Deputy Chief Demission at the American Embassy, Caitlin Piper, says the girl child deserves the same benefits as the boy child when it comes to sports.
In a way of developing women football in the country, the United States of America Embassy, in conjunction with Eswatini National Football Association, are running a program in different schools where they continue with a program known as Girl Child Football Games. Deputy Chief de Mission at the U.S. Embassy, Carlton Piper, says the development of women football is one of their priorities.
Sports can also be a safe space in which girls and women can cultivate strong identities and hone the skills they need to succeed off of the field as well. Young girls deserve the same access to the benefits of this incredible sport as young boys.
The Eswatini Football Association has applauded the kind gesture by the embassy.
We are taking this program very much seriously, and we do believe that through this program we'll be able to develop future stars that will end up playing for the country's national teams. And this program is also embracing other football development programs that the EFF is currently implementing.
Sports envoys from the embassy also express their excitement over their passion of developing women football in the country. The main day of their program will be this Saturday at the Technical Center Lubamba, with 150 girl football players expected to be part of the event. For Eswatini TV Sports, Fabrice Msonera, Lubamba.
22 minutes after 7, we've come to the end of our English bulletin. Let's take a break. We'll be back shortly.
We at Eswatini Television Authority are committed to observing the Eswatini Communication Commission's Broadcasting Code of Conduct.
Under the code, we are committed to broadcast news that is current, free from hate speech, accurate, balanced, and fair.
From politics
to business, health, agriculture, courts, and global news. We bring you the latest updates as they happen, when they happen.
We cover all the sporting codes from the football pitch to the chessboards.
This is Eswatini TV News.
Hello everyone and welcome to the show. You know the vibes, it's the beat.
Hey yo, this is DJ Cybers. What's up guys, King Jace here. My name is Kripo Intellectual. What's up everybody, my name is SK.
Hey guys, this is your girl Z.
This weekend Eswatini has been such an amazing show. For all the years, they've always supported all the local talent and all the local shows.
Catch This Weekend Eswatini every Fridays.
It's one of the best entertainment shows Eswatini. So guys, you know what? This is the best show to have. Like, if you watch Swazi TV and you're a person who actually enjoys watching like musical shows that have a lot of content, that have good stuff, This Weekend Eswatini is your show.
For all the good vibes, all the good energy, make sure you tune into This Weekend Eswatini every Friday from 5:30 to 6:30. I'll say it again, from 5:30 to 6:30 p.m.
A 1-hour fun-filled train of entertainment. We are taking you from 5:30 all the way to 6:30 every Friday, live on Eswatini TV.
And yes, of course, we are your #1 entertainment show in the kingdom of Eswatini. But you can interact with us on all social media platforms. We are at This Weekend Eswatini on Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. Lalela Tina, we will definitely get back to you. This is your official weekend party starter.
I don't wanna go around singing songs that people.
Sunday at 3 p.m.
When you choose your adventures, you do so with an open heart and a desire for the unexpected. You embark on journeys to discover new worlds full of wonder. You choose a path to awaken your senses, a world to make you look up and realize just how inspiring this life can be. Arrive and awaken your heart. Explore life in ways only thought possible in your dreams. Discover just how far you'll go to expand your understanding of life's greatest mysteries. There's just one place on this planet with so much to offer. Now is the time for you to have the royal experience in the kingdom.
Welcome back. Asikuvusele nalo sanza kusivulela lo mhla ehlelweni besivedele ukuthi isitabe sikhulumisana nemxhumanisi wamaphoyisa nesive ngemkhankaso noma komsebenzi lesaba usukumisile wekusebenzisana nemimango lehlukahlukene ngenhloso nje yokucetha bona bucala lobentekako kuma communities. Phiko asikuvusele lo mhla ekseni ingabe unjani sesivele siyakubona ukuthi uvele sowusendleleni so yangakhona ngasemsebenzini asikuvusele lo mhla ehlelweni. Asivusele Phiko lomuhla ehlelweni. Thank you for joining us lomuhla.
Sivusele tsatwethu siyavusela ngaso sonke sive sakangwane kuseni.
Kumbe kusichazela nje Phiko sinibonile nilontsha umsebenzi wenu lapho nivede khona ukuthi nitawusebenzisana noma senivele nicalile kusebenzisana nemimango lehlukahlukene kuzama nje kucetha bona bucala lobendeka kwemimangweni. Kusichazela nje Phiko ukuthi ngabe vele mhlambe lokhu njengoba senicalile nje nikwenda kanjani nje.
Siyabonga kakhulu Thombeni, siyabonga nakuso sive. Singemaphoyisa sichubeke njalo vele nekubambisana kakhulu nesive. Siphumile sechithisa kakhulu tonke tindzawo. Siyawukhumbula ukuthi phela vele emaphoyisa asime kakhulu ekusiteni ngiso sive nakenda yona imisebenzi. Kungakho ke siyayibe sisakhabudlelwane. Sibuqinise ngayo yonke indlela ukuthi sivane kahle nesive ngoba ngiso lesiphindze siside. Kusiniketa information nasenda liphenyo lwethu nekusibambisa ke kulwa nebucala ngetindlela letihlukene. Dinenge tinhlelo lesitendako sisebenzisa i-department lesiyibita ngokuthi i-community safety. Community safety ke ligama lelisha nje lelifika manje besolo siyathi kakhulu ngokuthi i-crime prevention. Lo hlangothi lolu ke vele lihlala kakhulu esiveni. Libuta ukuthi bucala lobukhona nyalo ngibuphi noma libuka futhi kucala lokungibonya lokuhlupha kakhulu ngibuphi kutiphi tindzawo bese ke siyahlangana nalomango siyabukisana ukuthi nakubonakala ukuthi mhlambe sekugcekezwa emakhaya thite lapha nalapha singenta njani ke kubambisana kuloko siphindze ke futhi sibe nemkhono wethu lekungamaphoyisa emango lamaphoyisa emango ke kutonke letigodi siyaye sibe nesikhathi la siya khona siyowafundzisa noma siyokhumbitana ngokuthi kuphoyiswa kwentiwa kanjani. Letinhlelo ke lesitendile nje uqalile umnyaka dinenge kakhulu lapha kahlathi khulu esigodini sakho sekwenzeni besikhona khona kulamalanga laphelile sihlangane nabandla kancane sihlangane netindvuna takhona kwaphindze kwaba ngiwo lo mmango sabukisana safundzisana ngetintfo letibucala sabukisana ukuthi singatilwa kanjani siphindze futhi siyabiyela nyalo sinelihlelo la sitabe sibuke khona insha itawuxoxisana nathi isitshela ukuthi singabulwa njani lobucala sibambisane kutonke leto tinto siphindze saba khona eMalkens emalanga lathite landlulile la khona besihlanganyele kanye nebanikati bemakhumbi nalabo labashayela khona emakhumbini nasemabhasini tinhlelo ke nakhona letinengi letendiwe lapho lokufaka ekhathi kudlala imidlalo sakha ke lobudlelwane sibucinisa phela kuze kuthi nangabe sekukhona lokukhona sitobambisana nakumathapha kanjalo siyachubeka sibambisene nayo insha siyawendlula futhi sibe nemidlalo nakhona kusasa nje lapha kumathapha egroundini esikolweni eSwazi National kutinfo leti ayitisite ukuthi sibe nebudlelwane nalesive kulamalanga laphelile besikhona lapha endase Big Band lapho khona babeshifu bekahlanganise umango wakhe wabita emabandla kwaba necompetition yelibandla lemazayoni kwaba kuhle kwaba nje bese sithola sikhala ke sekuthi sithi gco sikhulume ngetindzaba tebucala siyakhuthata ukuthi imiphakathi vele ayichubekene kusimema sinaso nje isimemo sakusasa khona lapha kahlathi lapho khona ekwenzeni kuphindze kube neyouth sicocisane kakhulu ngetintfo letibucala siyavela nje kuto tonke tindzawo siyamenywa nasemabandleni sifike sifundzise ngetintfo letibucala siyamenywa etinkampaneni sifike sikhulumisane ngetintfo letibucala sithi nje lo moya lo njengalona uchubeke siveni sibambisane ngoba vele thina kusitakala kwethu noma kuphumelela kwemsebenzi wethu usemaphoyisa usekuthenini sibambisane naso sive.
No, sibanga kakhulu Phiko sikhathi sakho siyabona ukuthi vele sovele usemgwaqweni solungiselela kona kuyo wenda umsebenzi wakho njengeliphoyisa sibonga nje kusiniketa leso sithombe ngawo umsebenzi leni wendako kuzama kucetha bona bucala lapha eveni ube nelanga lelihle.
Siyabonga kakhulu.
umgeli besikhulumisana naye Pico lomxhumanisi wamaphoyisa nesiva siniketa nje sithombe ngemisebenzi labayendako ngekubambisana nemimango lehlukahlukene kuzama nje ukucetha bona bucala sibahlolete emakethe sizabe sichubekele hlelo
Sunday at 3 p.m.
Minutes after 7 kwalomuhla siphindze sikwamukela lihlelweni Kusile breakfast show. Umhlonishwa uNkulunkulu Cleopas Dlamini usuke kuleli ngalesibili walibhekisa event leBotswana kuyomelela silo semhlaba ingonyama inkosi Mswati wesithathu. Emhlanganweni welishumi nesihlanu wekuthuthukisa tekuthengiselana nekubambisana emkhathini kwelive leMelika kanye nemava ase-Afrika. Umhlangano ke logcile kakhulu esicubulweni lesithi kuthuthukisa imikhicito yase-Afrika edimakethe takamhlaba. Eswatini TV News editor Bongani Matsebula has been reporting on this summit from Botswana. He joins us now through a video link live from Botswana to give us a summarized highlight of the proceedings there. Mkholo, you are still in Botswana. While you have been absent, I hope temperatures have not been as unfriendly in Botswana. Mkholo, we've been seeing the proceedings of the US-Africa Summit from Tuesday, Mauqala on Tuesday. Take us through the summit, its theme, and what Eswatini stands to gain from it or contribute to it.
Angibonge Mnguni ngibingelele nakumbukeli ekhaya nangalana eBotswana ngisho lokuthi ma temperatures akasiwo lamahle impela kuyabanza kakhulu yona cold front bayibika ifikile. Angithathe nje kancane ukuthi lo mhlangano walomuhla noma waleliviki lana eBotswana ngomhlangano lohlanganisa bosomabhizinisi government officials kanye nalabo betinhlangano nje letimele labasuka ke United States of America kanye nasevenikati lase-Afrika. Ubahlose nje kubuka ukuthi tinhlelo tini letingentiwa noma kungagciniswa kuphi kuthuthukisa iminotfo emaveni ase-Afrika kuto tekuthengiselana. Kubuka ke tinhlangothi letinyenti Mnguni, kubuka tinhlangothi tekulima, agribusiness, kubukwe kutetempilo, ICT, kubukwe ku-natural resources and mining. Kwahlose nje ukuthi bathole leto inhlelo ukuthi kungagciniswa ngakuphi njengoba sengishito. Isicubulo salonyaka ke sithi enhancing Africa's value in global value chains. Kuthiwa iAfrica nayo ingasileli ngemuva kodwa ke ayihlomule kuto ke te business ingathi khanzi ke yona ke seyinglazi ingathi ke isalela ngemuva kude business. Umhlangano ubuya lapho uhlanganiswa lapha ke iCorporate Council on Africa CCA in partnership na hulumende ke wase Botswana. Kuhlangene ke la officials la ngetulu kwengulungwane nemakhulu amathathu 1300 approximately wema delegates.
Muhle, so silahlekele Bongani Matsebula sixolise kakhulu ngaloko ke lokuthanza kwendeka. I'm not sure we'll be able to get him back. We're just facing a couple of technical issues. But nje bekasipha yona i-summary ye-Africa Summit lechubekako, US Africa Summit rather, lechubekako eBotswana. Simbonile ke since Tuesday kude kube ngilamuhla. He's been giving us some updates through Tinzaba. We've also seen a clip yakhe uNkulunkulu Prime Minister Cleopas Dlamini asipha yona nje imisebenzi lechubekako lapha, because there are high-level sector dialogues la khulumisa tona leti inhlangothi lebesekade ibalile letifaka ekhathi te-agribusiness nethuthukisa tekwatisa netebuchwephesha nekubuka nje tekuthengiselana e-Afrika leti tawusitakala kakhulu ku-African Continental Free Trade Agreement. Sicolise kakhulu ngekuthi usilahlekele asasipha loyo mbiko loyo sicolise nakuye umkholo eBotswana. Sithemba ukuthi ke lisachubeka tinhlelo tesiteshi letinye letifaka ngesikhathi tindzaba sitawukhona ukutfola all these comprehensive updates mayelana nayo le-US Africa Summit. Kopha-ke lihlelo lisengakapheli sitawubahlola imakethe sibuye na-Fabrice Msonera just to give us sports reports sisaya kuyo impelasonto.
We at Eswatini Television Authority are committed to observing the Eswatini Communication Commission's Broadcasting Code of Conduct.
Under the code, we are committed to broadcast news that is current, free from hate speech, accurate, balanced, and fair.
From politics to business, health, agriculture, courts, and global news, we bring you the latest updates as they happen, when they happen.
We cover all the sporting codes from the football pitch to the chessboards.
This is Eswatini TV News.
Whatever we can say about the weather, but sporting activities are on the course.
On a warmer sentiment indeed, but also just speaking on a warmer sentiment that sports is, you know, seeing a lot of developments. Fabrice, Patuzo was in Durban, just, you know, following the proceedings in the Hollywood Best COSAFA Cup. Eswatini, unfortunately, had an early exit, but we do see another draw now for the World Cup, where Eswatini has been drawn rather into a difficult group, so to speak, because there's Cameroon, there's Cape Verde. Let's talk about Sihlangu going into this World Cup. Yeah.
I'm gonna start seeing. It's high time we spoke the truth. We need a change. I don't know how.
Where do we need the change?
We need a change now. We need a change now.
Players,
because no, there's nothing wrong. We need a change technical, bench-wise. In my opinion, we need a change because if it's not broken, don't fix it. But if it's broken, fix it. Yeah, it's broken.
But what do we fix?
We fix because the problem is, whenever in football in the world, you can have the biggest squad. You can have Zidane, Ronaldo, the Galacticos, remember. When the coach was not doing well, they didn't say Zidane is not doing well. Go home as the coach. I mean, I wouldn't stand here and say, Dominic is not a good. He's a coach, but he failed us. Let's change things.
Yeah.
Because if we don't speak the truth, then we keep highlighting, let's change the things.
Yeah.
His time. We've given him 3 COSAFA. He's taken almost the same squad. And there have been also issues where we cannot really go into details. But now, we're not talking about a club.
Yeah.
A club, it's someone's team.
Yeah.
So, so he's done his job. We've had good games under his leadership. But in my opinion, I think we should say, you know what, let's end it here. I don't know if we've got fears, if we end it, how it's going to be. But, I mean, we've got even CHAN qualifiers, if I'm not mistaken, this month end. In my opinion, Mukoni, wherever you go in the country, these are some of the things I want to highlight that I never got a chance to highlight. And I think I can highlight here because I'm a guest on this show. Because if I highlight it on my own show, it will look like I'm taking control. First thing, you can never play a friend, even if we play against, a social 11. But once a national team is in the colors, you can never hide it from its people. You can never hide it from the fans. We've had it a couple of times. We hear that we're playing Lesotho, we've played them, Zimbabwe, we've played who. Why are we hiding when the national team is playing? That's number one. 2, when you have retained, they came back after that defeat on Tuesday. First the media. Tell the people what happened. They come back, it's normal. Come back and face the people. Tell them we didn't do well. You can't tell me that we had to force, even when the selection is made, for the coach to face the media.
Yeah.
Now it's happening, but when you come back, face the media. We saw the game, we saw what happened, things changed, but face the media.
Yeah. There seems to be a lot of loopholes.
Yeah, CHAN qualifiers are coming.
Need to be filled.
COSAFA next year, yes, we'll see. CHAN qualifiers are coming.
Yeah.
When CHAN, if we can't make it in COSAFA, CHAN is the second up tournament. Then there's AFCON, where we're still dreaming to go. Then we've got the World Cup qualifiers, which is the final
2026 FIFA World Cup qualifiers. And I think, when we say 2026, we're in 2023 right now, we do have a bit of time to probably, see to it that all those things that you have just mentioned are fixed, Fabrice.
Sorry to catch you.
Yeah.
This is how emotional people think when you talk about these issues we get. Look at Lesotho. Lesotho, at some point, they were at the same level. In terms of FIFA ranking, we're even above them. But Lesotho now, they're into the semi-finals of the COSAFA. Clean sheet since the tournament. You know what they did? Before the COSAFA, they fired the coach because he was not doing well. And then look at where they are. I'm not saying let's be harsh on the technical bench. Let's just make changes. Let's make changes. Because if we keep not, telling the truth and go accordingly, then start to you can't blame the players at some point. Because sometimes then there's issues of we didn't call this player, we did not call. I understand that, yes, we did not call the player. But then give us a reason why. Then they make us understand. Because another thing maybe we might not say, we're highlighting that we needed players like the likes of Felix and everything. But I also, in my understanding, say Felix was in 2017 COSAFA that was played when you got the first bronze. So 6 years later, you still want that player to lead you. Maybe, yes, you don't have an option. But are you building? Because if you drive him for the next 7 years,
right.
Then, yeah. And I think he's also a very mature player, very professional. He understands that he cannot keep. This is why the likes of Tony Saris have all said, you know what, let's retire. Because we can't keep holding on for the how many years. Other kids need to come up. But we want to see them.
Yeah.
Owe Matsebula, we saw the kid scoring against South Africa, that first goal. There were questions to say.
And he's still amongst the top goal scorers, by the way,
understand?
and he's in a position to win a 20,000 Malagani prize money if things go well.
He was man of the match against Namibia, yes. So that was good. Those are some of the positives we can say, Coach, we liked it. Beautiful positives. But there were questions, why are we more defensively? Why can we not be offensive a bit? Yeah.
Then, and all those changes you are saying, all these changes.
They are notable positive notes that made by the technical bench. I'm very happy. But also there are mistakes that were made by them. And then the only answer is that there should be a change.
A radical one,
A radical change.
Got you. I want us to talk about, obviously, the Momo Cup. It was launched, I believe, on Tuesday. It's just a day ago, Wednesday, 2 days ago.
Wednesday,
Remind me? Tuesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
Yeah. Derek Shiba, Nsingizini Hotspur's president, just speaking to the fact that they are the defending champions of Momo Cup. He is saying that determined to defend the Momo Cup. Let's talk about this development. Do you see them defending it first and foremost? And secondly, how excited should we be for this Momo Cup? I heard that the prize money hasn't changed.
Yes, 2 million total prize money, but the champion walks away with 600,000. But then this is why I like the fact that you brought in Momo Cup, because now where we are, football now is business. So you play 2 games and you walk away with 600,000.
Yeah.
The other person plays the entire season, 9 months. You walk away with 1 million. Do you understand the strategy?
Yeah.
So mathematically,
we need more tournaments like this.
So mathematically, someone spent more than the other one. Because if I play 2 games, playoffs, semi-finals, then I'm into the final, then I've already won 600,000. The other one, just play 9 months. So we need more tournaments. There were rumors, which I would say maybe in our daily stories today, we might put it in that other tournaments would return, knockout tournaments. What are the knockout tournaments beneficial for the teams? First, you don't play more games. First, there are incentives. Thirdly, because the sponsor has a way of saying, for semi-finals, you dress up like this. So we're doing well slowly, but there are those small issues that we need to change that, for me, if we can change that, I think we'll grow. I don't want to get into some other details where you wonder, for instance, for you to say, I came today to work, but I forgot, as a journalist, you forgot your notebook and pen. When we up. Those are some of the things that corner like would say, why? How come? For instance, it's not a photo of the sponsor. I don't know if I should say it's a photo of the sponsor of the Premier League or anyone. But you cannot launch a tournament without a trophy. Those are some things we noted. Without a trophy. Where is the trophy? The trophy is at the club that won it last year. So
Yeah.
you mean to tell me the club won the tournament until today, then go Misha Solo Iteregiv. So those are small things, because we saw the Bible Society Cup yesterday being launched. Very organized. The trophy is present because the team that won it last year, they have returned it. But Momo Cup, question was asked, it's not a private. Where's the trophy? We're launching the tournament. The trophy is not present. It's with the club that won it. So those are some of the things we need to fix. And we think it's small, it's big.
Yeah.
Because someone who's watching out there is like, how do you do that?
Yeah.
And that's how it's normal then when the tournament is playing, then we have 12 players in the field of play.
Yeah.
Those are some of the things. So coming to your question, Momo Cup, a beautiful tournament that kicks off the season. And I think for me, teams get also to attract their fans through a system of voting and everything. And I think from the look of things, it's a tournament that I would say quick money for clubs, competitions, fans have got a say. So you need that in the preparations of the season.
Yeah.
To answer your question, it's hard to say that they would defend it, because now it was the first edition last year. So teams got to see how you can maneuver and end up being in the
They've
season.
made a couple of changes
Yeah.
in their squad.
Yeah.
So we also don't know how that's going to pan out for
Yeah,
them.
it's going up to Bennett. But you remember, sometimes you also have to look at the issue of how the tournament is organized. Yes, it was highlighted that there was no seeding, but remember the fans have to vote for their team. So if, for instance, newly promoted Rangers, because also they're from Kusile, if they've got more votes and then they get into the final, so you never know. But let's give it to anyone who's capable. But whoever that gets into the final and plays hard, then they are the champions.
And I do see a lot of Kusile fans gravitating towards Nsingizini Hotspurs just for the mere fact that they are the defending champions and they do want to see that representation of their region going further into the tournament. Congratulations to them, by the way.
Yeah,
to represent, coming from a region like Kusile, where there aren't many recreational facilities, particularly football pitches that are of good standard. I think for them to reach these standards is quite commendable.
Beautiful stuff, because they don't only have teams within the Premier League now. They have also teams in the National First Division. So when you had to count 28 teams within Premier League and First Division, they also have a good number of teams. Then there is also Bonjeni, there is also Manzini that has got the highest number when you talk about Manzini, and then also there's Hoho. In terms of numbers, they're almost equal to Kusile, but Manzini is topping, because we talk about Premier League, they've got most of the teams, because even the so-called armed forces teams, they are counted under the Manzini area. So then you've got the likes of Manzini Wanderers, the Temper Sundowns, Moroni Pirates, you know, all those teams, Manzini Seabirds. So then you go into the National First Divisions, other teams. So Kusile is coming up okay. We can say.
When is the tournament projected to start?
Momo Cup, okay, the voting started exactly on the day of the launch, which is on the 12th of July. It ends on the 18th of September. And then on the 23rd of September, it's the playoffs. Then on the 30th of September, it's the final.
Are you allowed to have a favorite team? I'm allowed. I'm not.
No, me, I'm not allowed.
Okay, I'm rooting for Nsingizini Hotspurs because I'm from the Kusile region. Thank you for joining us, Fabrice.
Thank you very much.
Fabrice, giving us updates on what's happening in football development. The Momo Cup is back. Eswatini, Slango Semnigati, Sifagiwe has been drawn to the 2026 World Cup qualifiers under a very tough group, by the way, with Cape Verde and Cameroon. So we might want to see those changes that he alluded to really happening if we're going to want to go further in that World Cup qualifiers. We've come to the end of our program today. Thank you for staying with us. Have a great weekend. Be responsible and stay safe.
encouragement for the people at home?
Yeah, they must be behind the players.
Look at the camera and address them directly.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough one, but I expect them to support the players all out.
Thank you so much, Coach, and all the best.
You're welcome, sir.
Time to conclude Group A of the Hollywood-based Casafa Cup 2023 as South Africa take on Eswatini, and they're both in with a shot of a semi-final spot